I was quite interested in, I think it might be useful if you're able to also just talk a little bit more about the role of the RDS in supporting applicants with the workup of their applications. Faheem, would you be able to describe the role of the Research Design Service?
Oh, so is that the RDS, the Research Support Service that I've moved
That's
into?
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an NIHR support service that offers free support to applicants in developing applications. It covers across all NIHR hubs. So I think we have 8 hubs across the UK. And you can work with them in terms of our funding calls, in terms of how to pull together an application, or if you've got an idea how to basically make that a successful application, you can get advice across the RSS as well as the RDN in terms of your service support costs and your NHS costs as well. But we always ask when putting together a funding application to get in touch with the RSS quite early on, so that you're linking with them, engaging with them, and you're getting that expert service and advice in pulling together a thorough application.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. And I have one final question. Jayne mentioned about really spending a lot of time thinking about your research ideas and formulating your application. I suppose in terms of setting realistic expectations, how long would you say it would take to work up a good application in terms of months? I know it's an estimate, but I think some people, sorry, go on.
No, so some people work offline because they're aware that the doctoral, take, for example, the doctoral award and postdoctoral award launches twice a year. So some people may have thought of an idea a while back and working with their supervisors, so might start crafting an application offline 7 months before an application window launches, or even earlier. Because when the application window launches, you've got to pull everything together within a 10-week window. So obviously that's pulling together your online application, getting all your signatories, finance costs and everything involved that's expected within that time frame. So we say work offline and then obviously get together your proposal well as you can, because like Jayne touched on, it takes time to prepare for that fellowship. It's not something that you can just put together shortly over 3 months. And the better put together application, the better scores you're going to get a chance of progressing to the interview stage, etc.
Okay. Thank you very much. Does anyone have their hands up? I can't see everyone on the screen. So if anyone would like to ask a question, there are a few questions in the chat box, but I might give people an opportunity just to ask any questions directly to our representatives. Please just chip in now. Tash, I've got a question in the chat box. Does the Colt Foundation cover cost of VAT where applicable, and institutional inflation assumptions on accepted directly incurred costs?
No, we well, some of the questions are actually that sort of are indirectly incurred costs. I think the ones that you put in the chat. So I would say that we probably wouldn't cover those. VAT, universities don't charge us VAT, but if they've gone outside, because we're not VAT registered, but if they've gone outside to a supplier who, we will pay the full cost, assuming it's a directly incurred cost for that piece of research. But I've put a link in the chat which will take you to our website, which has a full list of what we will fund and what we won't fund in any application. But if you've got specific questions, I'm very happy to people to email me about that, ask questions.
Thank you. And there's a question from Lisa Newington, our colleague from Queen Mary's. Lisa, would you mind jumping on and asking the question? I'm not quite sure of the questions.
Yeah, no problem. So previously the Colt had a charity partnership with the NIHR postdoc fellowship, but it only ran in the January round. And now there's 2 calls a year, and then the clinical academic pathway and the standard pathway are all judged the same pot, the timing is the same. Does that now mean that at either of those 2 time points, all of the charities are acceptable as co-funded partners?
Do you want me to answer as far as the Colt Foundation is concerned? And maybe Faheem, you can answer as far as. So, Lisa, at the moment, Colt is only doing the January round, but I think that will change over time. But at the moment, we've just got a lot of fingers in pies at the moment. So at the moment, it's just the January round for the
Perfect.
Colt
Thank you very
Foundation.
much.
Yeah, and just also in terms of charity partnerships, so we from the NIHR will get in touch with charities ahead of each launch. So this will be for pre-doctoral, doctoral, and postdoctoral, and ask if they want to take part in any of our launches. So it's based on what the charities want and which call they want to take part in, and then they'll also offer sort of wording in terms of what sort of research area they want their fellowship to sort of align with.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Faheem, I'll just come back to you. We have a question in the chat box. If you could just give a quick summary once again, describing the difference between the NIHR, the postdoctoral awards and the advanced fellowships.
So I think that was my fault. I kept on the postdoctoral side where I kept on mentioning advanced fellowship, but with terms of simplification, the postdoctoral award has combined all our advanced level awards into the postdoctoral award. So it's still the same. So the advanced fellowship sits under the postdoctoral award as part of simplification, but everything is still the same in terms of what the requirement of the advanced fellowship would be. Hopefully that makes sense.
Okay, any other questions? There are all the questions in the chat box. I can't see any.
I've got
hands
one.
up.
Sorry.
Yep, jump in.
Hi, I did just email, but to save you time, Tash, I just wondered with the PhD proposals, would you accept a one-page overview in the way that you might for a normal project proposal, just to help streamline the whole experience from this side?
Yes. Hi, Anna. I know my answer's not being seen in the chat.
Yes, strangely, I
don't know
cool.
whether
yeah, sorry, yes, I
They
can
are,
see that.
Tash,
It's a couple of times I've had a question answered, but it's absolutely fine. No, absolutely, yes, we would. And by all means, just give me a call. We can have a chat about what it is you want to do. So yeah, always open to one-page pre-submissions or a phone call or a chat or whatever. So yeah, always here. And just to answer, sorry, I can't see who asked the question. The submission deadline. So the next deadline for project grants will likely be the first week in August, and I will confirm that nearer the time, but it will be likely first week in August. Usually it's first week August, first week in February, give or take.
Hi, sorry, just to follow up from this, my question actually. Tash, do I understand correctly that it takes about 3 months to assess afterwards?
Yes.
So the decision should be within 3 months or
so
after?
So the process is that we accept the applications. I will get back to you very quickly whether in remit, and then we will pre-select, make sure that they are fully in remit and that you're answering the questions. You've addressed the issues that we want you to address as far as the importance of a project, etc., etc. Assuming that you have, it will then go out to peer review, and you're given an opportunity to respond to that review before the board the selection committee make the final decision, which is usually within about 3 months. And then funding becomes available as soon as the agreement is signed.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a question from Daniel. NIHR mentioned that they're not interested in mechanistic projects like biomarkers. Is this also true of the Colt Foundation, Tash?
Not necessarily. Send me an email what it is that you're considering, and I'll let you know directly. Not necessarily.
All righty. We still have a little bit of time afforded to us. So I'm just wondering if there's anyone in the meeting who is currently in receipt of an award who might be interested in just giving a little bit of an overview about their own experience applying for one of these awards. Some practical insights as a recipient.
Can I just add something, Vaughan? It's reiterating what Faheem said earlier, is that the importance of a good application, and actually I think Jayne mentioned, and because as a partner of NIHR, you have anyone who's applying to Colt and holds a Colt grant has access to their research and development teams. And I cannot reiterate highly enough how important it is prior to any application that you speak to your own in-house team at your university and utilize the wonderful tools that are available through NIHR, because a badly written application just will never get through, however good the research. Use the resources at your fingertips.
I would absolutely echo that also, Tash. We routinely engage with our local RDSs as well when we're working up our applications as well, and we work with very experienced researchers. We always get very useful, practical feedback from the RDS teams themselves. So absolutely reach out to them during the workup of your proposals. Okay, I don't think we have any other questions. So on behalf of my colleagues at the London Centre for Work and Health, we are very grateful for our colleagues from the Colt Foundation and NIHR for coming along today and talking about the various different awards. Please reach out to our colleagues directly if you have any questions or would like just to seek some follow-up advice or direction on workup any future applications. So thank you once again for your time. I'm going to put into the chat box just a few updates. This is just a reminder that we have our upcoming conference for occupational health in June coming up. And we currently have a call for abstracts out, and that will close on the 1st of March. So I'll put a link to our conference website in the chat box. So please do give some thought to submission of those abstracts. Also, people who are interested in joining our mailing list to attend future Lunch and Learn sessions, please drop us an email and we'll add you to our mailing list as well. So thank you, everyone, and look forward to seeing you again in the future.